Today's Chiefs Report is presented by Manscaped. If you want the best men's grooming products out there, check out Manscaped. Get 20% off plus free shipping for all of their men's grooming products. Coming up on today's show, we're going to get you caught up on the latest training camp news. Plus, later on, could Kansas City trade for a 2021 second-round draft pick? We'll explore who that is coming up later on in the show. But let's talk about Orlando Brown Jr. as he has arrived at training camp after about a week of holding out, which we found out yesterday that Brown would arrive at St. Joseph. He did practice today for at least some of the practice and then spoke to the media after today's workouts in St. Joseph. Here's what he had to say, a couple of quotes that caught my eye here. He said, "I missed the locker room. I missed the coaches. I missed a lot of ball up to this point. It didn't feel right sitting at home. This week in pads is very important to Andy Reid. It was difficult to be away for so long. I know how important this 5-day stretch is. It didn't feel right sitting at home. I have no animosity toward anybody in the Chiefs building." He also added that the NFL is a business and that he understands how these things go. I think this is the right mindset to have for Orlando Brown because we've talked about this for a couple weeks now, really ever since the franchise tag deadline came and went, is that sure, Orlando Brown can be frustrated, and if he wants to hold out, that's fine, but he doesn't really have any leverage in holding out. The Chiefs can't give him more money this year. He is under the franchise tag of $16.6 million or whatever the exact number is, and that's it. That's what he's going to make this year. If he holds out of games, he's only costing himself money this year. He cannot make more. He needs to play this year, play well, and then get the bag. That is the goal for him, and I think that's the goal for the Chiefs. The Chiefs will happily pay him top dollar or close to it if he plays like an all-pro left tackle this year, which is what everybody is hoping for and is what Brett Veach hoped for when he traded for Orlando Brown last season. Played pretty well as a rookie, played really well down the stretch after an up-and-down start. They didn't feel like resetting the market with him, so he's under the tag. He gets a chance this year to prove he's worthy of resetting the market if he plays well here in 2022. So it's nice to have him back in the building and get focused here as the pads go on and preseason games get going later next week. All right, are you excited to have Orlando Brown back? If you are, type me down in the comments. I'm fired up about it. You get your left tackle back to protect Patrick Mahomes as the Chiefs obviously are thinking big this season with hopes of another deep run in the playoffs. Spam me in the comments if you're excited to have Orlando Brown back. All right, Skyy Moore, did he avoid injury today? We'll talk about what happened at practice as he took a little bit of a shot to the hip with the first padded practice for the Chiefs rookie wide receiver, so stay tuned for that. But first, today's sponsor, Manscaped. Guys, some people think it's the summer of, insert your last name, but what it really is the summer of smooth balls, and you can have smooth balls if you head over to Manscaped and check out the Lawnmower 4.0. Smooth Sack Summer is what I'm calling it and what Manscaped is calling it as well. You get the Lawnmower 4.0, the best men's grooming product to keep your balls nice and shaved, nice and trimmed. It's waterproof. You can use it in the shower, wireless charging station as well. Then after you do that, you throw on the Boxers 2.0. They've really improved their boxer game, nice and comfortable. Your sack has plenty of room to operate down there. You're feeling very, very good. Manscaped is the leader in under-the-belt men's grooming products. Go check them out. 20% off plus free shipping with promo code Chiefs. Go check that out. The link is in the comments and in the description of this video. All right, Skyy Moore, did he dodge injury? Well, it certainly appears that way. He took a shot to the hip on a little drag route going over the middle from Najee Johnson, fellow rookie, as well. Slow to get up, was a little bit gimpy, ended up leaving practice. Didn't really hear an update from the Chiefs or the coaching staff after practice, but Skyy Moore provided an update on his own, at least on Instagram. A Chiefs account called Chiefs Avenue tweeted that Skyy Moore left practice, and then he replied, said, "I'm okay, thumbs up emoji." So if we're to take Skyy Moore for his word, all should be well. Now, something I will monitor moving forward is how do some of these rookies, especially kind of an undersized receiver like Skyy Moore, handle the padded practices? I mean, there is going to be more contact now moving forward, and Skyy Moore had a bit of a hamstring issue in the offseason, so you know, I'm not by any means insinuating, oh, he's injury prone, he can't take a hit or anything like that. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is padded practices are a different deal. They aren't what they were in the 80s where they were doing 2-a-day, 3-hour practices, full contact. But, you know, it's getting ramped up a little bit here, and it'll be interested to see kind of which young guys rise to the cream of the crop and which ones maybe scale it back a bit and aren't quite ready for the limelight. So keep an eye on this. Don't think it's anything to be too concerned about with Skyy Moore. He says he's fine. I'll go ahead and take him for his word on that one, but I do think we should monitor him moving forward. That's why you subscribe to the channel, because we'll continue to bring you the latest news coming out of Chiefs training camp, all rumors around the Chiefs as well, any other updates, injuries, whatever the case may be. The Chiefs Report will have you covered throughout training camp, so go ahead and subscribe right now. Hit that big red button. No one's going to do what we do during training camp here on YouTube, so subscribe today. All right, I teased it earlier. Could the Chiefs trade for a second-round pick from last year? That player is Teven Jenkins, offensive tackle with the Chicago Bears. Report from Rapoport that we'll get to here is that Bears have received some calls on Teven Jenkins. We'll kind of talk about why here in a second. Former second-round pick has drawn interest based on his potential. A situation to watch. Mike Garafolo added this as well. As is often the case, a new regime is more willing to part with draft picks that they didn't make. We'll see what happens with the Bears and Teven Jenkins. The reality with the Bears and Jenkins on that side of it is Jenkins hasn't worked out in Chicago. Had a back surgery last year during training camp. Didn't play until late in the season. Was okay. And then now he's come in. This new regime has gone into Chicago. GM Ryan Poles, who came over from Kansas City actually, and their new head coach Matt Eberflus, sounds like he has not responded well to hard coaching and adversity. So lo and behold, you've got a young talented offensive tackle potentially on the trade block, and the Chiefs maybe they could use a right tackle, as that position is very much still uncertain. We'll get to that in a second. Should the Chiefs trade for Teven Jenkins? What do you guys think? He was a second-round pick last year. I don't think you'd have to give up more than a fourth right now. Type T for trade, type P for pass. Let me know what you guys think. Jenkins was a second-round pick last year. Chicago moved up to 39 overall to go and select him after they traded up for Justin Fields. So he's got talent. The Bears tried to make him a left tackle last year. This new regime viewed him as a right tackle, which I think is his more natural position. And if you look at the Chiefs, I think the one question mark right now on this offensive line with Orlando Brown back in the fold is right tackle. Lucas Niang still on the PUP list, as is Prince Tegawanagu. Darian Kennard was a fifth-round draft pick this year. I know the Chiefs like him. Andrew Wiley is someone who has plugged and played there. But you could make an argument, while Niang's injury timeline is unclear at this point, that Teven Jenkins would be the most talented option compared to anyone you have over there currently behind Lucas Niang. Hell, even Niang was a third-round pick. Jenkins was a second. I'm not saying Jenkins is more talented than Niang. The point being is he's got talent, and you've got a bit of a question mark at that position right now. Could be something to explore, especially if you can trade for someone, 50 cents on the dollar right now, as his value is certainly not that high. All right, that's it for today's Chiefs Report, but we got a little bit of a roll call here at the end of the show. Where are the real ones at? Type real one down below. And if you don't know what a real one is, basically it's someone who watches all our Chiefs Report videos, a diehard member of Chiefs Kingdom, and someone who just likes what we do here at Chat Sports. So if you made it to the end of the video, it's a real one roll call here. Type real one down in the comments, and I'll be replying to all of you that do. We'll see you next time here on the Chiefs Report.